What's going on, everybody? Kevin here, aka Deacon, and for those who are new to the channel, welcome. Now, of course, many people have already talked about this particular subject and this particular topic, and for me with Derrick Jaxn, before I even get into the two things that I was reminded from the situation. One, I do truly hope that him and his family, continue to do well, that they will get through this, that I hope that he truly does continue to build on his relationship with God and the mentors and everything that he has, and that he just continues to move forward on this path, and that it helps their family. Because let's be honest, at the end of the day, him and his wife are the main ones that have to look at each other, they have to deal with this, and then, having a child together. That's what's more important. Outside of everybody on the internet, whether they're roasting him, making jokes, calling him a hypocrite, coming at him or whatnot, or for those who are supporting, still at the end of the day, their union and what they want to do in their relationship and their marriage is all that matters. What random people say on the internet, it is what it is. But the two things I want to talk about that this reminded me quickly of was, one, mercy. When you don't show mercy, you will not receive mercy in a situation if you fall. And I know when Derrick, and talking to his audience as many times, that he showed no mercy in his commentary. Now, I haven't watched a lot of his videos, but I've seen quite a few. There's been some where I've agreed with some points that he's made, but then in some other ones it does felt like that he was heavily catering or pandering, as some people like to say, to his audience. But I mean, that's what was helping him making his money. So, he did what he needed to do, and he did it very well. The problem with that is that whenever you're talking about relationships or things of that nature, people are watching you. And whenever you do it in a manner that it seems like you're judging, you'd be surprised how long and how petty people can wait for you to fall. And when you do, if and when you do, they will pounce on you, as we're saying right now. And that's something that always kept me humble. That's why even on my YouTube channel or any platform, I try not to go on there and get on this high horse. So that's why, I stay away from that high horse, because I know that at any given time, something can happen. Like, for example, for those who don't know, because maybe this is the first time you ever clicked on this video, I got married when I was 21 years old. I'm currently 39. So that means I've been married for 18 years. And through this 18 years of marriage, my wife and I, neither one of us have cheated on one another, and nor have we been separated throughout our marriage. We've been together this entire time. And I can just come on this platform and then start telling people, yeah, the reason why y'all feel such a certain way about marriage because y'all not doing it right. Look at me, I've been in this marriage 18 years, blah, 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 and just start talking all kinds of things. And the problem with that is that, yeah, there will be some people that will cheer it, root it on, but for the most part, and most people, they're going to be saying, okay, we're going to keep an eye on you and see how reckless you keep talking or see what you keep talking about. And we're going to wait, because eventually something's going to happen that they're not going to show any type of sympathy, any type of mercy, anything. And if I'm coming off like that, it's deserved. Like, I can't sit back here and say, oh, well, why are people acting this way or responding this way? Because it was the type of energy I put out there. It reminded me that whenever talking about people and talking about situations, you try to have some grace, you try to have some mercy in there. Now, if the individual is complete trash, I mean complete trash, mentally, verbally abusive, just not contributing anything, then no, they don't deserve, mercy, in the sense that if you go in on them as an individual because they just decided that they're not going to be a better person and they want to be a trash human being, then okay, that's understandable. But if it's something where you're not actually taking both sides of the story, or you're not saying that, hey, this was a mutual thing that led to the breakdown of this relationship, and you're not taking that thing into account and trying to, find a common ground, because sometimes, in many cases you can, then yeah, you're going to have this type of vitriol coming your way when you continue to do certain things and other people feel like that their experiences are completely being disregarded and ignored. The second thing that I saw from this, or that reminded me of this, is to never put people, and especially relationships, on a pedestal, especially for people that you are watching on the internet. You are listening and following people on, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or any other social media platform, and you're taking what you see at face value. You set yourself up every single time. And You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Hopefully for many of you all, instead of using this as a situation like, see, this is why I knew all men, especially black men, were trash, and talking about black men don't cheat and y'all all are the same and blah, 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 blah. And what's interesting about statements like that, because of course I've seen them, I used to take statements like that personally until my wife and many others reminded me, like, why? Like, they're not talking about you and to you personally. And plus, we can all generalize, but at the end of the day, I have to truly look at my current situation. So with that being said, even though others, because trust me, if you're in a relationship and you end up being in a long-term relationship, you're going to see a lot of things, a lot of relationships, a lot of things come and go throughout the course of your own relationship. I've been married, me and my wife got married in 2002. And since we've gotten married, I've either been in, a witness to, or part of 10 other marriages. And out of those 10 marriages, 7 of them so far have ended in divorce. But what do I do? Do I say, oh, well, because so far only 3 of them are still lasting and the other 7 failed, then mine is going to fail too? No. I don't base other people's successes and failures on my own. They can be inspirations, they can be lessons, but they're not the determining factor of whether or not I'm going to continue to be happy in my marriage or not. Only me and my wife can determine that. And especially not from me watching random people on the internet, people who I'm not even building with, that I can't watch, that I can't, interact with and see how they're interacting. I'm editing this. So even some statements, or if I mess up a word or something like that, I can cut that out. The same thing people are doing on the internet. So like I said, you can be inspired, you can be encouraged, but don't put these people on a pedestal. I made that mistake, not with people on the internet, but with people in my life who I've watched from, them getting married to having their children to then it all coming down and crashing. And just the pain, the disappointment, the things I felt. You would have thought that I was affected in that situation. And this is from people that I've actually lived life with, and interacted with, friends with, birthday parties, things of that nature. So, that's one thing, but that taught me that situation. So then to see people be that same way with people on the internet, or somebody they see on the internet, yeah, you got to be aware of that. You got to be aware of that thing and not to put people on pedestals. Like I said, it's not to say you can't be encouraged, you can't be inspired, you can't hear people's stories and say, okay, true love really does exist. But you do have to listen to people's stories, listen to what they tell you, and then discern from yourself. This is why, too, when I give, if anyone ever asks me for marital advice, I always try to give them the pros and cons of it, because marriage is not all doom and gloom and it's a struggle, but you can make it that way. It's not a fairy tale, but at the same time, it's not as, it doesn't have to be. Let me say it that way. It doesn't have to be doom and gloom, and it doesn't have to be over dramatic as some people make it out to be and make it seem like it's the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life. But I'll save that for a different video, because that's not what I'm talking about in this. But that was the 2 things I got from it. I'm trying not to make this video too long, but that's pretty much the 2 things that I was reminded of throughout this situation. This gentleman was not the first. This gentleman will not be the last. It will be another individual, a man or a woman, that will do something similar or worse. I guess it gives people a foothold, because this is how Derrick Jaxn's platform was built, on this type of information and so on and so forth. So to see this happen, to see this come out, people are having a field day with it. So, but that's it. That's all I have, and I wanted to share in this particular video. I guess I will make other videos in the future, just giving my own life experiences and things about marriage, relationships, things of that nature. But I'm definitely not trying to enter into relationship guru arena or anything like that, because, nah, I don't I don't want those problems. But anyway, as always, be wise, and until I see you all next time, have a great day.